We need the clapboard.
We need the clapboard.
Action.
Ow. Raven, how about you introduce yourself?
Oh, I wasn't prepared for this.
Yeah. And I want you to understand that I love you, and I never want to deliberately hurt you. But I'm a man who trains men, and you, I think it'd be fair to say, are a woman who trains women.
That's totally fair to say.
Yeah. I'm going to show you something very special to me.
Okay.
Athlean-xx's dirty little secret, athlean-xx.
X.
No, just XX. It's not pornographic.
It sounds like there should be another X in there.
No, but you see it's because 2 X chromosomes.
It says today only. I assume you've looked at this before.
Yeah, I looked at this yesterday.
Did it also say today only $79.99?
Believe it or not.
There's never, don't ever pay $100 for this program.
Don't pay for this
Don't pay
program.
for
I think this is what we're going to end up with.
Programs.
Yeah, because we are changing women's fitness forever.
Can actually, spending too many long hours at the gym can actually cause you to stop burning fat. There's no point at which you stop burning fat. It's just that the other systems start working harder in order to try to meet the energy demands of higher effort exercise or movement or whatever.
But this says that I'll stop burning fat.
But it's just wrong. I'm still on the no workout longer than 33 minutes. Like, that's an extremely specific number. That's so fast. Like, you're definitely not going to get strong.
Yeah, I mean, you have to get your cardio and strength training in at the same time if you're going to get it all done in half an hour. With the power of scientifically backed nutrient fusion, and you'll never count a calorie or measure a portion and still lose weight.
How are you not measuring a portion?
Well, because there's actually no guide for portions in the meal plans.
What's nutrient fusion?
I have no fucking clue. It's never explained. I love training this way.
What is this? I'm sorry.
This is the
wrong strength
I knew you would love this.
Oh
all
my
right.
God.
So maybe you are strength training, but ask yourself if it makes sense to follow a workout program that men are using to bulk up when you're trying to get lean and toned. Is this program really designed with you in mind? It should come as no surprise that the many women who have been misled to follow this path have wound up experiencing unwanted bulking of the legs, butt, and upper body. Not exactly what we bargained for after 90 days of hard work, is it? Man, if I could bulk up my legs, butt, and upper body in 90 days, I would suck Jeff's.
This is really bothersome. I understand. I accept that colloquially, when people are using the term toned, they think of one thing. They think of like a lean but still visible, muscled looking body.
Yep.
That's hypertrophy. But when you're referring to tone of a muscle, you're referring to like how tense is it at rest. And most of the time, it's not going to be that tense. You don't actually really want your muscle to be super tense at rest. It's maybe going to feel uncomfortable or hurt. When you're describing wanting to get toned, you're describing wanting to be able to see your muscles. And one of the best ways to do that.
Muscular and lean, basically.
One of the best ways to do that for people who don't have any muscle, people who have been previously inactive, especially women, is to actually just build.
We have a cat.
Build the muscle.
We have an organically forming cat break here.
To be in my lap because she loves me.
Yeah.
All right, what if I did resistance training that doesn't make me stronger and doesn't get me jacked? Would I still get toned?
No.
I guess that's kind of the summary of the point, isn't it?
Because like when you, like again, the colloquial meaning of toned means being able to see visible muscle.
Yeah.
So if you don't have muscle and you're not training in a way that builds muscle, then you're not going to get that toned look that I'll accept. I'll meet you on the term on your ground of the term there.
I just can't stop thinking about how the idea of getting this body in 90 days of training.
Those are really toned muscles.
Those are very toned muscles.
Because she's like not, like she's probably contracting a little bit.
I'm guessing that this is a pose that she is flexing.
But those muscles are probably pretty hard at rest. That's a pretty toned body.
That's a hard body. So if you want to get
So-
toned, this is what you actually mean.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is toned.
I think so.
No?
I would argue.
This isn't an outcome that happened because she just got too enthusiastic about lifting.
I don't think that that's a real, like, I think it's a real picture, but I think it's a doctored picture. Like, again, this line right here, anatomically, that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any fucking sense,
A boob job.
It looks like someone glued balloons to her
boob job,
pecs.
you do see that, like, cupping, but it's on the bottom. It's on
Yeah.
the underside of the breast, not the top of the breast, because they put the implant under the natural kind of fat pocket, so you wouldn't get that on the top there. That's weird.
So this isn't just
It
because
looks-
wrong strength program.
No, I think that's a Photoshop job, trying to
Okay.
convince you that you should be scared of programs that are otherwise probably pretty effective for you.
You hired the wrong photo editor is basically what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so happy we did this. The fact that genuinely just dropped you. You're like, want to know what we call the treadmill here at athlean-xx headquarters? The road to nowhere. You see, while doing some activity is better than doing nothing at all, workouts based solely around the treadmill are terribly inefficient at helping you change
That
the
is-
shape of your body.
Absolutely not true. Oh my God. Like, how is that the case when there are so many instances of runners losing weight or runners having to eat like 3,000 calories just to fucking
Just to
exist?
stay at their current
Like,
weight because
yeah,
they're burning so
they're
many
burning
calories.
so many
from...
calories.
Now, I agree that prioritizing resistance for women especially, I think you would agree with that as well,
Absolutely.
is super important and super under-prioritized in the way that a lot of women do approach the gym.
And they're mostly afraid of it.
They're afraid
They're
of it.
afraid of it. And I think that this isn't doing a very good job so far, because even though it's trying to claim that you should be doing resistance training,
It's still making you afraid of
It
it.
starts with a scare tactic. It's saying like there are wrong programs for you.
There's a
and
wrong way to train.
There are wrong programs for you, and they're the ones that you.
It might be this one.
It might be, yeah. They're the ones that you don't like doing, or the ones that you don't see results from, probably because you don't like doing them, so you're not applying yourself to them.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. Why would you? Why?
Well,
Why in
here's
a
the-
program where they're trying to like talk about like body composition changes, would you try to make the argument that cardio is extraneous?
bad, yeah.
This is not extraneous effort if you're trying to lose weight. This is awesome.
It's part of the plan. Cardio is awesome. Raven Butler,
Says a
2024.
Powerlifter.
This is a powerlifter who has not done a lot of cardio, went for a run
I
today.
went for a jog today. I wouldn't call it a jog.
It's
It was
only
absolutely a jog.
It's only with proper strength training, geared specifically for women, that we will see our fastest. Now, you're a powerlifter.
Oh, you're reading this.
I'm reading this.
Oh, no.
Now, you are a powerlifter. Now, you train completely differently than men, right? You use a different program, use a different style of training.
It actually probably means you should be training harder than you think you should be. So.
Yeah, do you want to remark on that? Because this is the big one, right? This is the one that I find the most fun about this is in terms of how training happens
Yeah.
with women versus men, what's the main thing that seems to be consistent?
Nervous system arousal.
What does that mean?
So like your strength, your ability to do anything athletic is based on how much your nervous system is going to let you do. You've all heard like the stereotype, the trope, I guess, of the mother trying to save her baby can lift up a car even though she can't pick up the grocery or cat litter or whatever. So that's because her nervous system is super duper aroused, and it's letting her muscles exert a level of force that otherwise wouldn't be allowed because it's
Right.
considered unsafe by her body. So in women, that nervous system arousal tends to be capped at a little bit of a lower effort than in men. So there's been studies done on 5-rep max efforts, for example, and in the definition of a maximum effort is one that is not repeatable because it's so taxing that the fatigue that it incurs doesn't allow you to repeat that effort. That's what you see in men.
Yep.
But when women do the same thing, they're more likely than not able to repeat that 5-rep effort. Not necessarily a heavier effort, but they're able to repeat that
They do it
same
again.
5-rep effort.
So you've got like lower total arousal potential in session, but a higher work capacity.
Yeah. And I think
Basically.
it's because what you're doing that
I mean, I've seen what your program looks like compared to mine. You're grinding out sets where I'm dead on the floor.
yeah.
So more weight training.
So it's, yeah, you probably have to work harder than you think you do, because what you're considering to be really maximum effort probably isn't as close to what is really your maximum effort as you think it is.
Are you ready for
No,
spending the next minute and 15 minutes?
I don't think I've been ready for any of this. I feel incredibly unprepared.
Ladies, are you unhappy with the results you're getting from your current fitness and nutritional plan? What if you could get 10 times the results in half the time? Well, you can with athlean-xx.
10 times the results half the time.
How do you even measure, quantify any of this stuff? This is so silly. This is so
Like muscle girth
this
measurements
is
and
such marketing, like gimmicky marketing silliness.
Nah, it's real. It's definitely real. Love that it comes with a deck of cards.
That's because your workout's probably just like fucking.
It's a deck of cards, random circuit workout. Yeah, absolutely.
Designed to suit physiological requirements of a woman's body.
Unique physiological requirements of a woman's body. 50% of the population has unique physiological requirements. Heard it here first.
The power of athlean-xx lies in the double X zone. The two X's represent your approach to fitness and nutrition. Too often, women waste time doing high reps with weights that are unchallenging. The result is a boring and ineffective workout. In the double X zone, the weights you use will increase and the reps will decrease. The result, a sculpted,
That's
linear.
That's just literally like.
That's linear progression.
It's not even necessarily linear progression. It's just like there's a basic concept of the fact that the higher intensity, the higher the intensity of the effort, the lower volume you can do. That's literally just.
Yeah, and the XX zone, it's known. It's a thing. The XX zone, the double X zone. X, that's an X. X.
I love that they're trying to frame this as something that's like unique.
Yeah, they've invented this. This is
unique
pioneered.
to this, as if like all kinds of programs for literally decades have understood the relationship between intensity for strength and volume.
What happens if a man does this?
The exact same thing. That's what most men's programs are. Like you said, linear progression. It's like you start out with a lower intensity. Started with a lower intensity for higher reps, and then over time you decrease the reps, which is the volume, and you increase the intensity, which is the weight.
Unique physiological requirements of a woman's body.
The second X represents your nutritional plan. Oftentimes, women starve themselves, eating only 2 to 3 times per day. Skipping meals only leads to...
I only eat like 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah, what if they're big meals, Jeff?
Yeah. But like
what if I went to the buffet and I had one meal?
Or like, yeah, one of those times that I eat in a day might be like an entire medium pizza.
Yeah, if I eat a whole pizza, is that you starving yourself?
Metabolism to screech to a halt.
That's so silly too. I'm so sorry. Like that's...
Metabolism screeching to a halt.
The idea, though, that eating more frequently revs up your metabolism. This one is pretty old, and it's been targeted to women a lot because I think that there's this idea that, like, if you eat more meals more frequently, then you keep your body burning all of the things.
I worked with a client. Her nutritionist told her she had to force herself to eat breakfast to kickstart her metabolism. Right, as though like eating an extra meal when you're not hungry is on the net going to provide you with better weight loss.
You know, the things that do boost your metabolism are things like eating less unprocessed foods so that your body has to spend more energy actually digesting the things, moving more, being more social so that you're less depressed and just generally like more mentally well.
Drinking
and
caffeine.
Being outside daily and moving daily, which I think I already said moving more. Like just literally move every day.
Yeah.
In the double X zone, your meal frequency will double to 5 to 6 times per day, while portions will remain reasonable. Not only your cravings.
I thought we weren't measuring portion sizes.
The phrasing there actually caught me there because the portions will remain reasonable. It's like, wait, if you're going to eat more meals, you have to shrink the portions per meal in order to compensate for that. Unless what you're saying is the metabolic impact will be so high that by eating more food, your caloric burn will actually super compensate.
I think he's actually just trying to say, like, oh, like, don't worry, you won't be eating like a bird. You'll still be eating substantial meals.
Which, okay, fine. Jeff, reasonable.
But you'll start seeing and feeling the results. Ladies, stop doing what you've been doing if you want to start getting what you've been wanting. It's time to get that lean, strong, and athletic body. It's time to get athlean.
He didn't show any of the workouts.
No, funny. Fact 1, did you know that counting calories is so inaccurate, yes, even calorie counts on packages, that it's pretty much pointless to even bother?
No, it isn't. If that's the case, then how have people succeeded with counting calories?
I'm going to go to more of the text because I got nothing. We've taken the guesswork out of nutrition and provided you with a definitive guide to simultaneous weight loss and muscle toning.
Because we're afraid of gaining muscle here. So when he talks about measuring a morsel or anything else you wouldn't be able to realistically do for a lifetime, is measuring portions an unrealistic expectation?
No, because you don't have to use a food scale to measure a portion. You don't have to use calorie counts specifically to measure a portion if that's not something that makes sense for you at this point. You can use hand portions, for example, where you roughly measure out what a palm-sized portion of a food you eat frequently is. Yeah, right?
Bigger than my palm.
I'm a bigger person than she is. So, as long as you're consistent with your measuring stick, and again, that could be your hand, which for most of you, you do have at least one, that is something that you could use realistically, and it's not something that's going to be a huge burden on your life.
I'm really curious how they can make a meal plan that is apparently universal but doesn't involve any portion
and again,
guidance.
No vegetarian, plant-based, keto, like no specific dietary plans. It's all Western-based
how is it
food
even a
too.
plan though? Like if it's not,
It's
if it
just
doesn't
a
tell you
list
how
of
much to
meals.
eat.
That's it. There's no portion. It's nothing. It's the worst meal plan I've ever seen. All right, here we go.
Snack.
So here is the meal plan. You have 3 options: the standard meal, the shred swap, and the size swap. So that's it.
What does that mean?
Basically, if you're trying to lose weight, you go with the shred swap. If you're trying to gain weight, you go with the size swap. And if you're trying to maintain weight, you go with the standard meal.
A bottle of water?
Yeah, because he
Fuck your glass.
Yeah, he doesn't do tap water.
This is literally like my toothbrush.
He's made multiple videos demonstrating that he just blasts through plastic water bottles. But look, protein pancakes using his protein powder, of course, and oats, topped with strawberries, banana, whipped cream, maple syrup drizzle, a glass of 1 to 2% milk, high-grade omega-3s. That's breakfast on this meal plan for AX2 specifically. But trust me, I've looked at a few of these. They're all the same.
If you're one of those people that like gets the repeating on the omega-3s, having that with milk would be so gross.
You're just having milky fish burps like the rest of the day. Also, prescribing supplements in a meal plan is, you've already fucked up. Like, this is not a responsible way to handle nutrition recommendations. You don't just say, oh, you need this supplement.
I think he thinks it's a safe bet because it's.
Well, he also sells them.
It's a safe bet because he makes money off of it.
That's exactly it. It's a safe bet because he profits. He's already sold 2 supplements just at breakfast. No guidance on how to make an oat protein pancake. So already we're off to a pretty rough start.
There's no link there? Oh, you don't have it.
No, there's nothing. It's nothing. It's just a description.
Okay. What if I don't like egg salad?
What if I want salt on my pumpkin seeds? Once again, I don't know how to make a lean beef taco because I'm vegetarian. So I guess that's over now. Because if I'm going to get athlean, I have to eat the beef.
I just noticed the little legend at the top that shows proteins, fats, carbs, and fibrous carbs. And I like that the ingredients are color-coded.
Yep.
I think that's actually a really clever way of helping people understand what components of their meal represent what sort of macronutrients.
Yep.
I think that's very valuable. But what is not valuable at all is no portions. Like
No
that's
portions.
really
Just
so
protein pancakes. How many pancakes?
relevant.
How
is
many pancakes?
portions? Like that's one of people's main issues when it comes to eating is not understanding how much to eat.
How many tacos? How much beef?
Because if these were yummy tacos, I would eat so many.
The whole
tacos.
package of beef is going inside me.
Are those all the meals? Is that it?
Well, that's just one day.
Oh.
That's just one day, and then I can
Are
go into
they
like the next day.
Different every day?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Pumpkin spiced oatmeal with canned pumpkin, cinnamon, nutmeg, walnuts, and sliced apples. Glass of 1 to 2% milk. Scrambled eggs with salsa. Sliced turkey breast with mushroom couscous and grilled asparagus with lemon and olive oil.
How do you shop
Baked
for
sweet
this?
potato. No,
Potato.
there's no grocery list, so you can't. There's no grocery list. No grocery list, no portions.
Air popped popcorn with hot sauce. What if I don't like hot sauce?
But you have to. It's on the meal plan.
It's gross. And a glass of skim milk. So before we could
We
have
have-
1 to 2% skim milk, but
We
or
have
1% fats, but now you have to drink skim milk.
Our milk comes in bags. We have to put it in a pitcher. So if we have 2 types of milk in the fridge,
We
we're
also need
fucked.
2 pitchers though.
We need 2 pitchers. So half the fridge is now milk.
I'm a fan.
I know you're a fan. Fact 1 was what we just spent the last half hour talking about.
Oh, there are 2 facts.
There's 2 facts. Fact 2. Did you know skipping meals or eating too infrequently can slow down your The whole of intermittent fasting YouTube just exploded. They're all dead now.
The metabolic slowdown that they're referring to is a consequence of like long-term starvation,
Yeah,
like the actual like prolonged deprivation. So like people with a history of eating disorders or who have been malnourished for any particular reason are gonna see more metabolic effects from that.
Yeah.
But that is again a result of a prolonged thing because your body is really interested in maintaining homeostasis. So if you try to disrupt something, it does its very best to adjust. So when you decrease your calories, it's like, okay, well then we will just change how many we need to exist.
The result of this method of eating is nothing short of miraculous. Not only can you expect a rapid reduction in that stubborn body fat, but as noted, you'll also see less food cravings, less bloating, and increased energy and focus throughout the day.
And if you don't, then they've already said at the very beginning of the program that it's your fault.
Tready, set, burn. Also, there is a treadmill. That's a treadmill.
They
That is
should have
someone on a
called that
treadmill.
workout Road to Nowhere.
Quickies?
Quickies! Seductive shoulders. One of the other reasons you probably struggle with sticking with an exercise program is because you're looking for an external result that realistically takes years to achieve. This idea that like there's some outcome that you are expecting to get and you're doing it for this outcome, then you're probably going to meet a lot of resistance at some point to continuing with your training.
Yeah.
And this is such an odd
It won't happen in 90
marketing
days.
thing. Well, that too, but this is such an odd marketing thing of like, oh, like ditch these like old ineffective programs and like finally get this like thing that you're gonna want to do.
Yeah.
But it's also still focused on what you look like.
Yeah.
All of these workouts are based on what you look like and what sort of like muscles you're trying to tone, and the idea that like you're trying to just be sexier or hotter or more attractive, and that motivation, that motivator is incredibly weak. And as soon as you start to feel super stressed out about anything, including the fact that it's not working as fast as you want it to, it's going to be harder to go back to those workouts.
Yeah.
No matter how much you paid for it or how much Jeff is telling you that you're just not trying hard enough. It's like that isn't a strong enough motivation to want to go and do this thing that's really hard.
Every woman is different, and every woman leads a busy life. Some of them don't. You can customize the meal plan 3 different ways.
Is that the shred standard to adapt it to any eating I didn't see anything about vegetarian or
No.
what if you have celiac?
What if you have allergies?
What if you're halal or kosher?
What if you're just not from the United States? Like, what if you're...
What if
What
egg
if the
salad makes you want to throw up?
Yeah, but like, what if you're from China and you don't eat anything like this?
Oh my God, yeah.
What if you're from India and none of this food is anything to you? This is white food, right? Like, this is a white meal plan. Oh, we got some testimonials.
Okay.
Enjoy seeing fast results just like these ladies did. Look at, it's just their faces.
And Rachel lost 30 pounds.
And Rachel did lose 30 pounds at age 39.
And she has nothing to say about the program.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know. If anybody has anything to say about the program, what they put on here as like
What was your experience like?
Because I have a bunch of testimonials. They're like pretty specific about the things that we do and the way that they felt. And, you know, I had those within the first like year of being a coach. And I'm pretty sure this guy has been around for a whole lot longer than me. So I'm very curious about the choice to not include any testimonials. Ladies, it's time to redefine what being fit really means. Getting you strong, confident, and athletically toned is my #1 priority.
Athletically toned? What does athletically toned
And
mean?
responsibility I fully accept. I promise I will get you in better shape than you've ever been before and in far less time. So she's
just repeating the
just
copy.
repeating the copy.
All you need to get athlean is a pair of light and heavy dumbbells, generally in the 5 to 10 pound.
20-pound dumbbells aren't heavy.
So remember earlier on this page when they specifically said that like heavy weights would be a part of this, right? Like 20 pounds is still baby weights for quite a few of these movements.
A lot of exercises. 20 pounds is not a very big weight. Two 20-pound
most
dumbbells doesn't even equal one full barbell for a bench press. Just so you know, that is not heavy.
Yeah. So again, this condescension idea of like, oh, well, there is a hard cap and it's about 20 pounds.
20 pounds is
20
what
pounds.
a woman is gonna. I weigh 100 and.
If there's a goblet squat here.
Depending on the day, I weigh between 115 and 120 pounds. I'm a pretty small woman, and 20 pounds is a baby weight.
You can throw it. You can throw it around. Like
a 20-pound goblet squat
with 20-pound dumbbells.
After a certain point, like, okay, a 20-pound goblet squat is literally my litmus test on like day 1 of meeting able-bodied people.
Yeah.
For whether or not they can squat with a barbell.
Yeah.
So I will give a 20-pound dumbbell to a person I just met, provided they have certain like medical clearance requirements, whatever, that kind of thing.
Responsible trainer.
But like the first day, if someone is healthy and visibly strong enough to use 20 pounds, it's something that I'll just stick in their hands confidently, and it's like the starting point for your legs. I'm not trying to insult you.
It's okay for that to be a starting point, but that's not what this says. This is saying for generally 5 to 10 pounds and 12 to 20 pounds.
12.
Two pairs of dumbbells for everything.
I've been focused on the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I actually was focused on the wrong thing, because 20 pounds, I accept this is gonna. I have clients for whom 20-pound dumbbells are. I really want to just like backpedal and be like, I don't want you to think that your 20-pound anything is not impressive if that's where you are in your strength journey. However, I don't like the way that this kind of frames it like that 20 pounds is going to be like the upper limit of what you can do. And even if 20 pounds feels heavy for you right now, I promise it can get easier. And I, again, focused on the wrong thing, because it says 12 pounds is the start of the heavy range.
Your heavy dumbbells is 12 pounds.
If the program is effective, you're going to outgrow these dumbbells really, really quickly.
What do I do after the 90-day program? We designed athlean-xx for women to be flexible so you could follow it not just for 90 days, but for a lifetime. As long as you don't need anything heavier than 20 pounds. Did this break you?
I'm really sad. I'm really sad, because this whole thing has been like framed as this different approach to training and marketing to women. But it's not. It's exactly the same as every other fear-mongering kind of, you need something different and specific, and you as a woman have this built-in, it's telling me that I have this built-in strength limit, I guess, these 20-pound dumbbells. You can just repeat this forever, and you'll never need anything else, because heavier weights get you bigger, yucky muscles anyway, and like, who told you?
Well, that last part is the thing that I'm actually kind of grabbing onto, because it's not even saying you have a built-in limit. It's saying you want to set a limit.
You want to set a limit.
You want to set a limit so you can't go heavier than 20 pounds.
Big muscles are yucky and you don't want them, remember? Like, and who told you that? Well, like this program told you that.
It's telling you that.
A bunch of other programs that this thing is also, it's trying to like frame itself as being different from other programs that have also told you that building muscle and having too much muscle is ugly and undesirable. And it's just, it's so the same as what it's trying to tell you it's different from.
I don't want to just be a dick, especially to people that do use these programs, that use this portal. I spent a lot of time on the Q&As in like 2020 when I was really big into like athlean-xx stuff, and it was full of women. There were a lot of women on there, not like disproportionately more, like it definitely not half, but there were women on there, and they didn't use this. They used the regular programs. They used AX1, AX2. They use Total Beast. They use like the ones that are marketed for, well, they're not specifically, they're marketed for men.
They're marketed towards men.
But the women knew, well, these are the ones that will actually do something. These are the ones that are actually fun, that like actually involve workouts I'll enjoy.
And if you don't want to get bigger muscles in any particular area of your body, all you need to do is just pull up on the gas pedal a little bit on those particular muscles. It doesn't mean you have to like not train them or avoid them entirely, but like if you're running a program for men and you're like, wow, my shoulders are a little bigger than I want them to be, just dial down the intensity on the shoulder work or do less of it. You don't need a whole other program to do that, or just like swap the shoulder exercise for a body part that you do want to get bigger or you do care more about. It's really, really easy to just do that with any program.
How is this different from the men's athlean-xx?
Oh, this is the
I
big
haven't even
question.
read this yet. I don't know what this is going to be.
The big reveal.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Immediately, the first words. I don't know if I can read
Scientifically speaking, you may have heard of the male chromosome and the female chromosomes that differentiate men and women. Women are normally XX and men are normally XY.
Oh my God. Don't let the slight change in one letter fool you, though.
As it accounts for the major differences in the way men and women store fat and develop lean muscle. Citation really desperately needed, please.
Okay. Storage of fat is a thing. And like women have, you're the one that taught me that. Yeah, you're the one that taught me that. Women have fat pockets. There are different storage preferences in the body. You can't, your training and nutrition won't change anything about that. There is no, like, losing fat is losing fat. Gaining muscle is gaining muscle. Is the implication you can spot reduce?
I don't see that anywhere in here, but I don't see anything of any substance in here. He's just saying that you have different chromosomes, which is true, which is, you know, why our bodies do look different. And I have a period and Sean isn't graced with one of those.
I don't, and I'm very grateful for that every day. Every time that you have a period, I'm like, boy, howdy. I'm not going to go shopping around to get one of those.
And if you didn't know what a fat pocket is, it's basically literally a little like pocket, an anatomical pocket that sits under your skin in which your body can store fat without it interfering with any of the functions of your organs. Women have them all over their bodies, including that pooch that you hate so much. It's there to protect you and your uterus. Men have a couple of them in areas like the pec where there's like friction, where the armpit is kind of here, and as well as on
tickling.
and as well as on the butt, like so that you're not just like sitting on your tailbone or your hard muscle.
Why getting lean, like super, like gym,
means that sitting down sometimes gets really uncomfortable.
Yeah, and of course we also tend to preferentially.
So the reason that like men end up having more body fat in their bellies, why the pot belly is a thing, is because they don't have fat pockets stored to store all the fat, distributing it all around the body. It ends up getting stored viscerally, which means that it's in around your organs, which is what
makes us die when we're more obese,
more unhealthy. So there's an argument to be made that when women have a similar body fat percentage as men, it is less unhealthy, potentially because of the different places to store the fat where it is not as intrusive to the biological function of your organs.
And then of course there's the other myth that's here, which is the idea that muscle development is actually different between sexes. which
I don't think there's any evidence.
there's
for
no
that.
evidence. As a matter of fact, the evidence that's emerging is that responses to training are actually identical.
Pretty much the same.
Yeah. Different body sizes mean that like your potential for like absolute strength or absolute muscle mass are going to be different because of like skeletons. And men will have a higher starting point because
Skeletons?
of skeletons.
You said that on purpose.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And men will have higher starting points because of the onset of testosterone in adolescence.
Yeah.
But apart from that higher starting point, especially in the upper body, for women, the gap is actually quite a bit less. Your actual response once you start lifting weights
It's the same.
will be identical. The pace of gains will probably be identical. Yeah. And once again, women can generally handle higher volumes and tend to have those lower arousals. So yes, sure, you could make a very strong case that there are some slight adaptations to training that would help you like optimize results that you're getting. But this isn't it. What's being described here isn't it.
No, when it comes to just like general health and weight loss, like I don't think that there actually would be like when we talk about like the cap on the strength and whatever for training, like that is really only super relevant if you care about like maximal effort lifting and you're trying to get like a really accurate 1 rep max or the mostest 1 rep max or get the most out of your sets or whatever. But if you're just generally like training because you're trying to maintain your weight and health, then like there's really no reason to care about that because your 1 rep max is irrelevant to your general health.
Yeah. This is circular logic. How is this different from men's athlean-xx? Athlean-xx addresses this and gives you a program made especially for women.
But like,
how is it different? How is it different from men's athlean-xx? Because it's for women. The reason it's for women is because it's for women. The reason it's for women is because women are different. That's all the explanation that we've been given here. So unless he has proprietary knowledge that he achieved through independent research, which hasn't been peer-reviewed by definition, this is made up. This is literally just fiction. How are you feeling? Will I become big and muscular?
Oh my God! So angry about the content of the rest of the things that we missed.
Will I become big and muscular? Of course not. This is a common fear that women have, that lifting weights will make your muscles bulge out like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Men who are actively trying to do that have to work for years and often take drugs like Schwarzenegger did.
Who told you it was a bad thing? They're telling you it's a bad thing. It's a common fear that women will have. And don't worry, like that we're not going to dispel the myth that that's going to happen to you accidentally, because it is a myth that it's going to happen to you accidentally.
You just wake up one morning, you just lift the sheets up, and it's like, ah!
I'm literally like losing my ability to form a thought. Well, this is very, very upsetting. But
how about this thought? Science of femininity. Yes, the female sex exists, but a very hot, sexy woman is subjective.
Getting more introspective about like what your body should look like, why you think it's good for it to look a certain way or bad for it to look a certain way. And this is like fodder for your insecurity, and it's trying to tell you that it's going to help you with your insecurity, but it's just really creating more reasons for you to be afraid of the way that your body looks being wrong. Because what if you are a genetic high responder to training, and even doing something like this does give you really capped delts, and for some reason you don't want that. So you should just continue to hate yourself.
Yeah. Be like, oh man, I can't lift weights because I get big.
I get really big, and that's ugly.
Gross. Yeah.
Like, I promise you that there are men that won't think that your big muscles are ugly, and that if they do think that your big muscles are ugly, then maybe that's something that you should consider a red flag in a potential partner instead of a valid criticism of your body.
Yeah.
Because why are they uncomfortable or grossed out by you like having, like visibly being strong? Like, why is that something that is off-putting for your partner, and why are you so uncomfortable with visibly looking strong?
I'm done with this shit. I don't want to talk about this shit anymore. We've been at this for almost an hour and a half.
It's a long time.
I'm gonna plug your socials in the doobly-doo.
You can check out my Instagram. I barely ever do anything on it, and I sometimes respond to messages in a pretty appropriate amount of time.
If you're a woman looking for coaching, and you don't want to be talked down to like this.
Oh no.
Because that's absolutely what this shit is. Get in touch. Get in touch. She knows what the fuck she's talking about, and she will treat you like a goddamn adult.
Unless you're not an adult.
Even if you're a child, she will treat you like an adult. Because you deserve to be treated with respect, little one. But get your parents to be the one with the credit card, okay? Don't steal your parents' credit card to... Don't steal your parents' credit card to pay her for her personal training.
Go get freaking strong.
Go get friggin' strong! Ladies!